Boy, it really feels good to have made the first cuts on the table saw, and you're going to enjoy using this saw for many, many years. One of the most important things that you can do when using a table saw is to develop very good habits. A habit like putting your push stick back after each use. If you put that back, it'll always be there when you need it. And sometimes you might be in the middle of a cut and realize that you shouldn't have your hand there and reach for that push stick, and it should always be there. That's one of the habits that you should be in. Keeping your saw clean and maintained is also important. Putting different parts back in their proper location is also very, very important. One of the things that we're going to do right now is we're going to teach you a habit here on how to use the different types of guards. Now, we've used the riving knife so you can see the saw working. Most of the time I like to use the guard whenever possible. So we're going to go through and we're going to change out the riving knife. We're going to switch over to the guard and show some different positions on that. Before I make any changes around the blade, I'm going to go through and unplug the saw. Again, another good habit, and I'll hang that cord right here. That way I know that it's unplugged. I'll move the fence out of the way. And we'll open that up. Now that the plate is out, we're going to go ahead and raise the entire blade assembly all the way up. Now that it's at the top, we'll walk around and loosen and remove the riving knife. Now here's our splitter with the kickback paws on it. That'll drop in place, and we'll tighten that down. And once that's secured, we'll reinsert our throat plate and lock it down. Now we've got the guard in place with the anti-kickback paws. We're going to go ahead and put the front guard assembly on it as well. And we'll make sure that the guard has got the little arms pointed forward. The back piece will go into the rear catch, and then the entire assembly will slide backwards. Once that's in place, we'll lock this down. Give it a tug just to make sure that it's in place. Now our guard is in place. It has the anti-kickback paws, and this is really a lot safer operation. As you feed your stock through here, it'll automatically want to go ahead and lift these up out of the way. The other nice thing about this is that when you raise and lower the blade, it'll travel with the blade. Let's go ahead and crank it down and have a look. For doing thinner stock, you want to have the blade down so there's less blade exposed. And you can see that that entire splitter assembly travels down with it, and the guard travels down with it, and is still quite effective. Let's go ahead and make a cut with the guard assembly in place. I'm going to set my height, lock it. Let me get my safety glasses and plug in the saw. There's another perfect cut. I can get used to this. Now you can see how the action of the guard protects you, and you can see how these articulate up for thinner stock, and it does the same for thicker stock. You can also see how these anti-kickback paws lift up and out of the way, and that's great for certain materials, and you should use that whenever you can. On materials when you can't, you do have options. You can go through and remove the guard first if needed, and secondly, you can change out the splitter and go into the riving knife. Now, I've used many different table saws over the years, and some of these guards are great and some of them aren't so good, and a lot of guys will remove them. And I really like this guard an awful lot, and I would encourage you to use it as often as possible. It's got some great features. First of all, it has a pretty low profile. It raises and lowers with the blade to minimize its height, but it also has some great features like this little sight window up in front. This sight window allows you to see the front of the blade or see the gap in front of the blade right here. It also has a little pointer right here if you have a line drawn on your board, so you can line that up and sight your wood through the saw a little bit better. And it's little details like that that are built into this guard assembly that I really like, and it makes it very easy to use.